So 2 weeks ago at the range, this happened. You can see that's where the post for the loading lever latch retainer was, and it just came out. I tried fixing it with some JB Weld, and that lasted about 3 shots and didn't work. So what I've done is I've purchased the Dovetail post, and I'm going to attempt to make the necessary incision, if you will, to mount that Dovetail post into my Uberti 1858 Remington New Model Army. And I'm recording this for the sake of posterity. Thanks. So this is the Dovetail mounted loading lever latch post. I'm just going to turn that over so you can get a good look at it. Do that. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to use my micrometer, and I'm going to get the dimensions of the base so I can make sure that I cut things appropriately. And I'll get started. I'll be back shortly. So the base of this appears to be a wedge shape. That is to say, on one side, for instance, the bottom of the base is 0.3475 inches wide. On the other side, the bottom of the base is 0.3485 inches wide. So it forms a wedge shape. So obviously you've got to take that into account when you're doing your filing. And we can see, I'll move in a little closer, see if I can't get a better view. Anyway, so that's the measurements for the base, and I'm going to start looking set up to start cutting the slot. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to get the post alignment set up so that we know where we want to cut the slot on the barrel. So right now I have the post sitting on top of the barrel, and it's just hooked into the latch. What you want to do is you want to push back slightly on the spring so that it's engaged, but you don't want to push it all the way back. So now basically I have a piece of masking tape which indicates where the back or the front, depending on how you define it, I'll call it the back of the post platform, needs to start, and then it'll just go forward from there. I'm just going to put this down for a second and see if I can show you exactly how that would look. So it would look something like this. Okay. Obviously where I end it, put a piece of tape at the front, and then we'll start cutting. I'll talk to you later. Bye. So basically I've stripped down the gun and taken out the cylinder pin and all that stuff in the cylinder. And then I've taped it off to minimize the chance of any untoward damage or unplanned damage. And it's now firmly mounted in the vise. And I have just the surgical area revealed. We'll get a close-up of that. And basically I've done my best to, I've used a magnetic level here to make sure that the flat side up is as level as possible to minimize going sort of out of kilter with any cutting. And I will be starting to cut shortly. Thank you. Bye-bye. So per some reading I did on this subject, the initial notches have been done with a very fine hacksaw blade, and this is sort of where I'm starting with, and made 4 shallow parallel cuts with the hacksaw blade. And next I'm going to try and take down the remaining material with some files, and we'll see how things progress. I've checked the width and we're still inside the parameters for the base of the narrowest point of the base of the dovetail. So I will carry on and let you know how it turns out. Okay, so we're making some progress. I've got the slot cut. Basically, the depth of the slot right now, I can get this thing to focus. So basically, on this side over here, the depth is 0.048, and on this side the depth is 0.54. Now the total depth to accommodate the dovetail base is 0.61. So what I'm probably going to do is get it level, that is to say to get both sides down to 0.58, and then start filing and fitting to get the dovetail in there. And we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're getting close. Actually got it in the slot just a little bit. It's binding up there. Won't go any further. I don't want to start hammering it at this point, but I am going to be very careful going the rest of the way. See if I can't give you a better view. There you go. So we're making progress. Okay, it's in there and it's centered. Looks like dinged a few things over on this side here with the punch. Hopefully I can salvage that. Overall, not too bad. Now I'm going to put it back together and see if it actually works. Okay folks, the job's done. Looks pretty from this side. I did have to make some minor modifications to the loading lever itself, shorten it up a little bit. I guess I wasn't quite as accurate as I thought I was in respect to the placement of the post, so keep that in mind. Looks pretty from this side, kind of ugly on the other side though. I'll just flip her over and you can see. So basically where I had to drive in the dovetail, so there's a few marks from the ball peen, from the punch. I'm hoping that once I get some time I can clean that up and put a little bluing on it. That won't look quite so bad. Anyway, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.